And, of course, the great thing about them is that they have this fantastic...
I don't know what happened then.
I used to have a tame one, and I used to take him out in the garden in London, and it had this huge tongue, of course. And I used to point him at a fly sitting on a flower, and he'd go, see, and wallop, get the fly.
Wow. We should say, I mean, I'm falling in love with this little fella here. I don't think the feeling's mutual, but we should point out that they don't make suitable pets, and these are from a rescue centre. So I think people had them as pet, and they were taken in, and they've been looked after now.
They were born in this country, though. That's the great thing about these.
Their eyes, I believe, are they unique in that their eyes can face in different directions at the same time?
And what's more, they have an extraordinary brain so that it flicks in a matter of microseconds from one eye to the other eye. So it builds up a double picture. So it's can be looking up and looking down at the same time. Now, if you interfered with him in the front, he would bring that forward and stab. And that's how he kills his prey.
Can I pick this up? Would this be...
Well, you can if you like. I mean, personally, I would be careful because, you know, I mean, a sting is a sting, even if it's only a wasp sting. It's a sting.
It's a sting. But would it wouldn't... OK, I'm gonna... Where would I pick it up if I were to pick it up? How would you approach such a thing?
If you were going to pick him up, and I'm not recommending it, but if you're going to pick him up, I should pick him up by the tail.
Right, by the tail? A scientist needs peace and quiet while he's working. All right, OK. Don't... This is kind of cool, though. It's kind of like a puzzle game. He knows I'm coming from, doesn't he? Stay still. OK, by the tail. What will happen then, though? OK, here we go. Hey, why do you keep running away from me? Don't bring the mat with you, mate. OK, there he is. OK. Oh, Lord. What's he doing now? Look at that. He's not stinging, though. OK, so... Now, they glow in the dark, don't they? Is that right?
They go in ultraviolet light.
Can we get the lights down? I think we have that.
If you've got an ultraviolet camera, it'll glow.
Look at that. OK, I'm going to take him off now. Let's have the lights back on. And I'm going to try and do this. Don't go any... Mother lover, you didn't like that very much.
No.
Wow, that was exciting. You had quite a lot of exotic pets over the years, I know.
Yeah. I mean, because we bought all these animals back for the London Zoo. And sometimes there were things that the London Zoo didn't particularly want, and so I stayed with me.
Right, so what did you have? What pets do you think back on most fondly?
We had a gibbon, we had a cockatoo, we had hanging parrots, we had chameleons, stick insects, lungfish, lots of stuff.
You had bush babies as well.
Bush babies.
There's a kangaroo scene in this movie.
Kangaroos are odd animals. What I didn't understand, I'd never been close to a kangaroo. Kangaroo's tail is just one massive muscle, and they can put their entire weight back on their tail and do serious damage with their hind legs.
Have you worked closely with kangaroos, Sir David?
Yeah, I have, actually. Done lots of stuff about the way in which they produce their young, which is quite complicated, isn't it?
I have no idea. I only know they have the big, horrible-looking tail.
You're not going to be taking over from Sir David, then. I can tell the level of knowledge there.
That I would agree with that.
But I guess they have a lot of people making sure that things don't go awry when you have the bigger beasts on set with you.
They are animal wranglers.
OK, well, which animals have you worked with where you thought things might go in the wrong direction?
I worked on a movie called Evan Almighty where I was doing a scene with a baboon, and they'd given me no instruction at all. And so I sat next to the baboon, and in the scene, I was supposed to take a drink, put the drink down, and the baboon was trained to pick up the drink and take a drink as well. We were sharing the drink. And I decided that I'd improvise with the baboon. And I looked at the baboon after he drank a few times, and I said, "Hey, man, don't take all of it." And the baboon went, "Yeah!" the threat of bodily harm, and it was kind of scary. And the trainer afterwards said, "Oh yeah, don't look at the baboon." Don't talk to the baboon, don't look at the baboon. And I thought, well, you might have instructed me as to this previously before I did the scene with the baboon.
They were bred with us. We had about 14 babies.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what happened to the 14 bush babies?
Well, some of them stayed with us, and others went to friends, and others went to zoos.
We wouldn't recommend people keeping pets like that.
Not
but
allowed to.
Were they nice to
It's
have in the house,
illegal.
though? Were they fun pets to have
Well,
around?
the thing about bush babies is that in order to feel at home, they want to get the right kind of atmosphere. And in order to get the right kind of atmosphere, they have to pee on their hands. See? And then they go all over the curtains and the furniture. See? And after about 3 weeks of that, they feel at home.
Would you go into space if they asked you? Because, you know, we're doing that now.
That's boring.
What?
But I'm not turned on by space. I know it's lack of imagination or something. But this planet we've got is so packed with excitements and
Why do you need
thrills.
Darth Vader
Why
when you've got
do
an
you have to
octopus
have-
walking across a...
and a great thousands of towns of energy burning away up your backside and shooting you off into space where you're going to hang around for weeks in darkness, nothing happening. I'd much rather go on the Barrier Reef.
I can see. Okay. I don't know if you know this, you probably don't, but Sir David Attenborough is, I think, the only person to have won a BAFTA in the black and white television category, back in the days when it was all black and white. In colour, he's also won a BAFTA for a high-definition programme and a 3D television programme. And I think that shows the span of your career and the quality of your output, the fact that it's so good. So insects in 3D, and yet I mean, I guess you're an animal. Would you call yourself an animal lover, or is it just an
I'm
academic
absolutely
interest?
fascinated by animals, that's right. I mean, the word lover is a sort of, you know, funny old word. Interesting, actually. Have you ever seen snails mating?
You know what? I've probably seen them on one of your shows doing that kind of thing, but
Slugs are even more exciting.
I saw one creature like a...
Yeah.
See, I'm a bit worried about the level of enthusiasm you're showing for the mating habits of some